folks. There's a bit of a convergence of a couple of ideas happening today. And what I'm feeling is it's both a sense of something happening in my creative practice, music, this post, the work that I'm doing with my students, and my sort of personal life, and looking at just how I approach my relationships, what level of awareness and level of skill, really, I bring to those relationships and how I navigate them. You know, I've been speaking over the last couple of days about different kinds of love, embodying these various kinds of love. And I think that might be a song. I think that's a song coming through. What I've been reflecting on and what keeps sort of popping up in my awareness is this notion of saying yes to pain. And it's an interesting thing, because in my personal relationships, the way that manifests is anything that I resist seeing, anything that I'm not willing to hold in my awareness, anything that when it comes into my awareness, my ego structure kind of starts to go, whoa, I'd really rather not be looking at this, I'd really rather not, I see you, and pushes it away. Anything that we can't hold in our awareness is going to get shoved under the carpet, basically into our subconscious. And there it's going to have a lot of power. It's going to have essentially not infinite power, but it's going to have infinite freedom to do its dirty work, because we won't look. It's like if someone had a meth house where they knew the cops would never come look. They would just do their thing. I don't know why that image came to me. Maybe it's living in Albuquerque. But that's the idea, that like if something is not, if I'm not willing to look at it, then it has power over me. And so that's kind of on the personal side when I reflect on the way that I engage in my relationships and what it feels like to be in relationship and what it feels like to sort of receive the feedback that inevitably, and the reflection that inevitably comes from, especially, close, significant relationships. Just reminding myself to let what did I say before? To let myself look at the pain, to let myself see the pain. On the creative realm, and funny enough, this is kind of where this train of thought started. On the creative side, I was working with a student the other day talking about, when, let's say, the process that I go through with these videos all the time is I'll be a little unsure what I'm going to say, and then I lean into a kind of faith that what needs to come through is going to come through. And as I start, once I go and push record on that camera and come over here and start talking, I surrender to the fact that what is coming out right now is what must come out. And if a block emerges, if something comes up and it's like, what? And I kind of freeze, and I don't know what to do with it, or I start to have the thought, I don't have any ideas. I don't know. I'm out of ideas. Maybe 239 video posts is all Robin Holloway's got. 240? No. You're done. You cut off. It was last call, right? My mind starts my ego can easily go there and be like, well, maybe I'm just maybe I'm just done. And what I was saying to my student who was having kind of a similar issue is, what if the block is the gift? What if that thing that's coming up and blocking the inspiration, blocking the flow, feels like it's in the way, feels like it's the thing that we need to get around or process or release or work out so that we can do the work? What if that thing is the thing? What if that thing is somehow, what if dancing around that blockage is exactly the content that the work is actually calling for, as opposed to something that's in the way of the content coming through? Because again, it's kind of that same idea of what I don't want to hold in my awareness, like the idea that maybe I'm blocked, maybe I'm done, maybe I'm just out of ideas. It starts to be this kind of brick wall that there's no, it's kind of, my ego, it's really only my ego that feels this way, because my higher self instantly knows what's going on, but my ego will sort of like think, well, there's a wall here. I mean, it's a wall. You can see it's a wall. How am I supposed to walk around? What am I supposed to walk around it? Well, there's no end, It feels like it's an impenetrable barrier. But that barrier is saying something. There's a reason that barrier is there. I like to think about the yeses and nos of the universe. A space is a yes. A wall is a no. Well, you hit a wall, and what if a wall is just a redirection, and then you flow here, and then there's another wall, and there's a redirection. There's another wall, and then there's a redirection. What if the yeses and nos of the universe are actually really intelligently constructed and not here to hem us into a prison of interminable, hell, mediocrity, whatever it is we feel is our own personal hell? What if those obstacles are not keeping us in that horrible place, which, you know, our ego finds everything intolerable. So, you know, you can live in an awfully nice house and still be in hell. You can be in the middle of a beautiful family, a lovely, amazing, you know, privileged beyond all recognition existence, and still be in hell, because the ego never really ever gets beyond. But what if that's not what's happening? What if these obstacles are actually gifts? And this is the thing, you know, it's kind of like I'm noticing the parallel between how this works in my personal life and how this works in my professional, creative life. Obviously, you know, I'm in the same universe for both those experiences. Maybe they're both kind of somehow related. But drawing that connection and realizing that each time an obstacle arises, I have the option of treating it like a gemstone or the perfect signpost to something new, to something else, to something that I haven't even anticipated, that my ego can't possibly see. You know, I think this is where I'm sort of thinking this through out loud, because I feel like it can inform both the way that I live in relationship and relate to the ones close to me and give myself to the process of manifesting the love, offering the love that I'm capable of offering, and also at the same time owning my own creative process and feeling that same love as an inwardly directed thing, where the fact that I hit an obstacle, the fact that I have a barrier, is actually something that feeds me and that allows that I can navigate with comfort, that sort of almost redirects me into my own comfort zone and provides that reminder that there's no such thing as a barrier, and that reminder that everything is serving me. Yeah. This is definitely a song. Because I know that there's nowhere else to go. I don't know. I haven't written the lyrics yet, but something that's something. Yeah. So I guess I'm offering that to you and to myself. You know, what if all those obstacles, you know, what if I know that there's nowhere else to go, nowhere else to be? I mean, an obstacle expressed in song is a song. What we remember is the song, not the fact that the person had a problem. That's where I am today, folks. Much love. I appreciate you. You're a big part of my life. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow.